What up, Joe?
Scottie, major season is done, man. Our first our
Major
first
season.
uh our first major season as podcast host is over. I'm kind of sad.
I am too. Major season's over, but No Strokes is not over. We're just getting started. We got the
No, we're just getting
the
started.
FedEx coming. We got TGL coming in. We got all kinds of stuff that we will have a full opportunity to cover this year. Last year we just texted about it. This year we
Yeah.
get to actually talk about it, which I'm excited about. The Open, you said it. I think you summarized it best. We'll talk about the Open in its entirety, but you made multiple comments about the Aaron Ryness of major season and just the way that, like, this tournament reminded me of that tournament where this guy is a couple over on Sunday. He's like not in any better shape than anybody else, and all of a sudden he kind of looks, see who's like in the driver's seat, then he falters.
Dude,
Cam is pounding away. And Ryan Fox just decided on like 9, fuck this noise.
Just like
and
Aaron
it looked
Rye
like
did.
a possessed animal man on
just
17.
like Aaron Rye did. He was the one guy that like made putts, right? Like I think he honestly, like down that stretch, right? And I was tracking Ryan Gerard because that's who I had kind of gravitated towards on Friday. Guy didn't make a birdie all day on Sunday. Like there was just a
Nobody
cover
did,
on
except for
the hole.
Cam and Scottie and Ryan.
Cam Young did obviously, but like those last groups, the only guy that put the ball in the hole and was aggressive and seemed to be hitting golf shot after golf shot was Ryan Fox. And it's just like what we were texting about, like the comparison between the Open and the PGA. It's like you had the stack leaderboard at both events and you just assumed it was going to be a big name. You assumed it was going to be a big name at Aronimik, whether it was going to be Rahm or Ludwig or Rory on that Sunday. And then the same thing here, right? Like Scottie was there, Cam was there, Sam Burns, like the guy that you and I, like, I know we didn't get it across the finish line, but my God, have we been on that guy? We said it was coming. It's still unfortunately coming, but like, I think everyone just made the assumption that, all right, Lucas Herbert and Ryan Fox, that's a cute story. They both shot 62. They'll fall off, right? Just like you expected Aaron Rye to do. And he went and won the golf tournament. I mean, I was so impressed with how he handled the 2 bad breaks that he got on the back 9, like that lie that he had in the bunker on 15 on that par 3 where he hit a great shot there. Like he was a foot away from that carrying the bunker, just like Ryan Gerard did like 10 minutes earlier, right? Where it was like a foot away from being an awesome shot. And that's kind of links golf, right? It's just like those breaks and those bounces. He has to play out sideways on the bunker. And like what I respected about Ryan Fox was he just went up there. He didn't bitch. He didn't moan. Like he just went, he assessed the situation. He got the ball back in play and then he made an unbelievable up and down. And he kind of did the same thing on 17. He ripped an unbelievable 2-iron that went 330 yards and somehow finds its way into that bunker. And again, like he assessed the situation and he went and gave himself a really good look at birdie on 17. He didn't make that. He did it on 18, but I don't know. It was refreshing to kind of see. I know he's 39. He's been around forever. He's won around the globe, but like relatively a new guy on the scene for like the casual golf fans. He was like a fresh breath of fresh air, right? Like just played quick, just was like bouncing around, just wanted to hit the shots.
He played quick as an understatement.
Yeah.
This guy's playing for the biggest putt of his fucking professional life, biggest stage to win the major of all majors. And he putted the ball 20 seconds after Burns missed.
Sam Burns got the ball out of the hole.
He's like pacing around and stuff and just like wandering and like,
well, dude,
somebody made a comment about that. He was wandering during Burns' putt. I was like, I wouldn't necessarily be doing that, but
I was laughing so hard at him on the tee box on 18 because that 18 tee shot, terrifying, right? But like he could not wait to hit it. And I'm sure, like, I don't know if you actually jumped into the prediction market at that point. I wish I did because, like, looking back on it, it's like, man, that guy was not afraid of the moment. Would have buried him, right? Because like you just knew he was going to hit an unbelievable drive on 18. Like he was so frustrated that the group in front of them was taking too long, right? Like he just wanted to hit as soon as he got the clearance. He pipes one perfectly down there, splits all of the bunkers, and gives himself a chance to put something on the putting surface and make a putt. And that's what he did. Like that 18 was the hardest hole um all week. People made a mess of it.
Three
There was
birdies
hardly,
on
I think
Sunday,
there was
right? He's
three
one of them.
birdies on Sunday, and one was Tommy Ladd, who was completely out of the fucking tournament when he made that birdie. And
Which
the
is where
guy
he
that
likes to
had
be anyway. That's
of course,
perfect.
dude, he he is the greatest at a non-contending top 5 that I've ever seen. He's the new Patrick Cantlay. How Cantlay used to always just like
Yeah.
you wouldn't even see him, but all of a sudden
You
you'd
just
look
trip and fall
at the
and be like, oh, top
leaderboard.
5.
You'd look at the leaderboard on Sunday after the tournament, and you're like, dude, I didn't see one Cantlay shot, but there he is in the top 5, like just a non-contending top 5. Um, but yeah, not the champion golfer of the year that anyone predicted, but I respect his game, and the more that I've read up on him and just kind of heard other people's opinions of him that know him, like he sounds like a kind of like what we talked about there, right? Just sounds like a good dude, and he's just not weird
Grinder.
like Aaron, right? Like he's a grinder. He didn't pick up golf until he was like 13 years old. His dad is like a world famous rugby player for the All Blacks in New Zealand. Like he just got a cool story.
He's an athlete. He's just a dude who's
Yeah.
like just an athlete, comes from his great grandfather was the same, is also like a professional lacrosse or something, rugby, cricket, whatever the hell it was. I don't remember.
Yeah, his grandpa was like an unbelievable cricket player, and then the dad was rugby, and then now he's a world-class golfer. Hell of a family lineage of athletes.
Dude,
there.
that mantle, is there anything you guys aren't good? Who bowls at this house? Any bowlers?
Well, what I respect
mom's a
too, he's
bowler.
got, Ryan Fox has got that dad bod too, right? So, I'm watching the tournament.
He's got the
watching
flamed out left foot. He just hangs it out, and he kind of like this is the kind of dude who like takes a piss at the urinal with the hand on the hip, just sort of. We all know that guy. It's like, Jesus Christ. No, he's very likable. The funny thing about it is, like, to the Aaron Rye thing, I'm not taking anything away from Aaron. We talked about this on the show. He won it in a way where you had to go back and you're like, did just no one grab this? Like, did he just like win because no one else did?
Yeah.
And then you're like, actually, no, because he had the like 5 birdies. Like he definitely went and got it, but in your brain, it didn't register. This was the opposite. This was where like you saw a dude really not in great shape midway through the round. And then you talked about the hiccups. The hiccups, instead, it almost is to me is like, and this also goes to him playing faster after that. I think he looked at it and goes, these are the kind of things that have to happen in order to win. Forget about me, Ryan Fox. In order to win a major, generally, a couple of things have to break really, really right, or you just crush the field. It's like rarely like that's where the young Cam Young, it would have been a cool comeback, but like you'd look at the round and he goes like 3 under, whatever, 3 under, 5 under, like, oh, like he just kind of got there. That's like a rare way to win, let alone a major. I think that Fox is like, okay, I had the moment, the 62. I would have told you, and it's where my money went on Burns. He has a 62 with a hole out on 18 to get it. So now I'm really like,
great.
Everything's working in Burns' way. Fox has that moment too. Burns, Fox. I'm going to take Burns, no question. Then he comes out. He has a couple hiccups.
Take Burns.
Well, yeah, but then Fox has a couple hiccups. He gets a good shot out. He has none of the disasters like melt around. And I think in his head, a light bulb went off. Holy shit. The board is coming back to me, and I'm getting the breaks. If there's ever a time for me to win this, it's going to be right now when the water's coming back to me and I got away with some shit. We are on even footing. And from that moment on, he went nuts. And if you had any questions as to whether or not he deserved or earned or won this tournament, that 18th hole, 17th hole also, because he got himself there, just didn't roll. The 18th hole, that birdie, that fucking dude.
Perfect hole. He played a
perfect
hole.
Was, and he was in a hurry. It was like he knew if I wait any longer, if I'm out here for even 1 minute more, anything can happen and I'm not going to win. I got to get the fuck off this course. And he just went out and took it.
I love that what he said. He's like, I couldn't even feel my hands on 18.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm just going. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go. I'm telling you, if he could have putted his putt in the middle of Burns' backstroke on 18, he would have.
He would have done it.
I don't think he would even give it a shit. So
Yeah.
kudos to that guy. That made it fun. I was busy when it happened watching it, but I was busy making preparations for my bet on Cam Young winning in a playoff. I was certain of it.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have happened, but I don't know. I was certain of it. So like when you said, oh, were you on, that's a good time to be on Robinhood and prediction markets. I was, in fact, and I was ready to put my money on Cam Young. I thought Burns, you had texted me, don't worry about it. Like he's an 8 under, whatever, or 7
I
under, 8
kept
under, at
waiting
9.
for him to make a
It
putt,
never
man,
happened.
and it just
It
never happened.
It never happened. He looked like he knew the outcome like 4 holes earlier. I'm not saying he choked. He just had a look on his face
I don't think he choked. I mean,
didn't have it.
He didn't have it. You look back at his round, and it just like, I mean, when the round started yesterday, I thought he was going to get to like 14 under. Like he just looked, the first 3 holes, like
look good,
stress free par on 1, sticks it to 4 feet on 2, and you're just like, so he gets to 11, and you're like, I don't know. Sam Burns is battle tested. He's been here. It just seemed like that was going to be the storyline. I think everyone was going to be okay with that, and then
I surely was.
That's what, like, major championship golf on Sunday. That's why it's the best, man. It's unscripted chaos for guys like us. And like, if you're sitting there after hole 3, you're like, oh, this is probably going to be a little bit of a snoozer. Like Burns is just, he's already doing damage. He's got a 2-3 stroke lead. And then the bogeys just happen, right? And like he makes a mess out of hole 5, which was the easiest hole all week, right? It was that drivable par 4. He put himself in a bad spot. He goes over the green. Like it turned into a disaster, right? And it's like all of a sudden you're looking at it where he's in cruise control. He's going to birdie hole 5 and he's going to be off to the races. Like that completely derailed him. And he put himself in like good spots in the back 9 to make some but they were all like 15, 20 footers. And they just, for whatever reason on these Sundays for Burns, like it seems like he can't miss until it's fucking Sunday on the back 9, and then he can't buy a putt. It's wild.
And the funniest thing is he doesn't blow. He's so like his 2 losses where he should win are so weird because usually you're used to a guy like blowing it. And I would argue that his bogeys were fucking incredible, world-class saves. That could have been way worse. Both of those could have been way worse. The one where he's like in the shit, hits it into the shit again, and he's getting onto the green, he chips it to like a foot, the one you text me about, could have easily been a double bogey. Easily.
That was insane. And then he also had a massive par save, I think, on 11, where he was completely out of position. Or whatever.
He made that one too.
Yeah, it makes a big putt. Like, I don't know. His time is going to come.
Of course it will, but he doesn't, his game, it's just funny to watch because usually guys don't win and they lose on Sunday because they just don't get it done. They just, they make mistakes. They get a blow up hole. They can't make putts to the point where like it costs them. It's not like they got the yips and you see the Young or Scottie's putt where he misses it from 4 or 5 feet and you're like, shit, he lost it that way. Sam Burns loses on accumulation. He makes putts that no one else makes all year, like all week long. And then it's not that he doesn't make the putts everyone makes because he makes those putts. He just doesn't make some of the putts that he made earlier in the week. The putts that no one else makes. He just doesn't make them then. And it's like,
and what's crazy, I'm looking at his scorecard from yesterday just to get a refresher. I mean, he had 1 birdie yesterday. That's crazy. Like he had 12 straight pars from 7 on, right? And like I said, he put himself in position to, I think the closest birdie putt he had was like 15 feet, right? So it's just
I was going to say, that's the part that was different yesterday for him versus, I mean, obviously when he shot the 62, everything is going close. But like the other days, he at least was, I think he had 4 or 5 birdies on the second day. And like on the other days, he is within 15 and inside. And it felt like every time I looked up on the screen, it was like 22 feet, 26 feet, 35 feet, uphill, downhill. Like there just wasn't enough of those like, hey, he's 167 out and he puts a fucking dart and it lands and rolls up and he's got 4 feet and it's just to make a birdie. He didn't have any of those. And you can't win with that. I don't.
Yeah, but that was good. Yeah, it was a great Sunday. I thought like to go back to Cam Young, like I do feel for him a little bit like but kind of what you were saying, I think him winning, it wouldn't have felt as like satisfying, at least for the viewer. I'm sure he
No,
wouldn't have cared how
no,
he
he was
got it, but
done for
like
2 hours.
yeah, 2+ hours, right? So like part of I think winning that major is like being in that pressure cooker in the last group or second to last group where it's like
Standing
you're
on the green at
expected
18 and having everyone
yeah,
clap and know you won. You can't back into it.
yeah,
And
like
that's
you
nothing he
cannot
did because
back
he went
into
and
it.
got it on Sunday.
No,
But
he
you
did,
can't
but it's
post a
like
score and then it
yeah, and like
falls
the
back to you.
conditions were easier when he went out and shot. And like,
Yes.
listen, that is what it is, right? That's how it happens. Sometimes he's still, he was the lowest score in the clubhouse up until the last group, right? So it was right there for him. But I'm at like in hindsight, I'm happy that that's not where he gets his first major. And again,
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have taken it and been fucking happy.
Yes.
But
As would
like,
I.
I don't know. I see him as a guy that's going to go out there and get it in the last group or second to last group in a major. And this, the time wasn't right for him. And I think if you were a Cam Young backer, one, I think you're happy that you had a sweat and he seemed to, come back to his earlier form that we saw at the
Yeah. He
Players
looks
and at
good
the
again.
Row. He looks good again. Um, but if you're looking at like, man, where did it go wrong for Cam? Like, dude, he was in contention going into Saturday. He was 6 under. He shoots 3 over on Saturday. Like his back nine on Saturday. I don't know how much of that you tracked or caught. Like he played terrible on that back nine on Saturday. And like that would be where I would look and say, hey, that like it's not, hey, I didn't lose. I didn't lose because I bogeyed 18. I lost because I, shot a 40 on the back nine on Saturday, right? And I put myself a little bit too far back and yeah, I shot a 60, 64 and it was almost good enough. But like that's where I would look and say, hey, what happened? It just seemed like he lost a little bit of his edge and like focus on that back nine and whatever he did Saturday night it worked but that to me
Church on
were
Sunday
if
morning.
I'm a
It was church on
church
Sunday
yeah
morning here.
God-fearing man. And then like I know a lot of people were pointing out that he bogeyed 18 and he lost by a shot
That
but
was a
like dude
tremendous
at that
save also.
but
That bogey
there
was
was a
fucking
tremendous
insane.
that should have been a double right but
And he
like
shot at 64. So like, what are we talking about here? There's no, that
and I
number is still
respect how
imaginary up until then.
I respect how he went about that because like you can't assume because he was 10 under on the 18th tee, but like everyone else had 3 hours or 2 hours to play. The leaders had 2+ hours to play. There was so much more golf. Like he wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna try to play for par and like I'm gonna keep it at 10 under.
No,
Like
he needs as many numbers he can
he
get.
was super aggressive off the tee, and then he was super aggressive on that second bunker shot. He tried to do what Ryan Fox did on Saturday, right? Where he like got really aggressive out of that fairway bunker on 18 and like barely cleared it and got it to the green. And Cam Young clipped it, right? But he was aggressive. He went after it, which I really respect. And then, he almost holed out that bunker shot for par, right? Like, I mean, he was that close. It looked almost exactly like Burns's hole out on 18 on Friday. Like the exact like rollout. It missed the cup. But
No, I mean, if he would
much
have gone
respect
out,
to him.
I agree with you totally. And I'd love to see that he's back in form. If he would have holed out and won it, that's a moment. I'm always go back to storylines because it's always like when someone wins, you remember what it was, what the thing was. 5 birdies and 2 gloves for Aaron Rye. That's what I'll remember. Like to see him hole it out would have been a moment. I agree with you. The Saturday tournament back 9, he kind of blew it. But if he would have gone, and not that 64 is a bad number by any stretch, but if he goes out and he shoots like 62 and he just takes that shit down, it's like, all right, you could be sitting in the clubhouse all fucking day for all I care. Like everyone's got to come to you. It's the fact that he left it on a number that they have to come back to. And if you win that way, that's the reason it feels like a half win. Honestly, I know anyone would take it. I think even he would prefer to not win it that way, similar to Hovland winning and saying, I didn't want to win. I don't want to win that one when Scheffler blows the putt in the playoff. Like you want to win competitive. And I can tell Cam Young is a competitor. The other things I want to talk about for this tournament before we move on, in general, I thought it was all good. I don't know if you heard this. Did you know Tommy Fleetwood's from there? Did you know he
Did
he and his caddy He has a parking spot. Did you know? So if you ever go there, don't park in Tommy's spot. He and his caddy.
Yeah, they got, how much did they beat that into us? Good God. I mean,
you know, the pressure that this guy's feeling, it's not the major. It's not that he's never won a PGA tournament other than the FedEx Cup tournament. It's that he's playing in his hometown with guys that when he played as a wee lad, weren't even fucking born. What are you talking about? That was so stupid. I was so like,
I mean, they were trying to will him into contention, and it just like, I mean, dude, poor Tommy.
I switched over to the Open app, as you had suggested to me, to get away from it. Mike Tirico, I don't know what the hell that was. And also, and just since I'm ranting about it, and we keep talking about the Masters, the major coverage, the media's news coverage of the majors this year has been fucking terrible. You started off the year in our first episode with Rory McIlroy making a putt, and all I saw was his rear end.
Well, they lost the ball. They lost Cam Young and Rory's ball twice on 18, right? Like,
correct.
Yeah, it's been bad.
They shoved Scheffler down our throats for the PGA. It was just, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back. It's like never fucking happened. Like, this was, not that he was in contention. It's like the biggest laugh of a top 10 back end ever, Russell Henley. But I never saw a shot of that. Apparently, Adam Scott had himself a fucking day. Saw 0 shots of that. Tom Kite disappeared on Friday, and I literally didn't know what happened. He was in good position, and then all of a sudden he was gone. I did get to spend 45 fucking minutes watching
Tom
Bryson.
Not
Tom Kite. Tom Kim. Same thing. Tom Kim. Tom Kite disappeared a long time ago. Much longer ago. Never saw it. Tom Kim. He was playing well.
That was disappointing, wasn't it? A lot of our guys that we love just, man, didn't have it. Did not have it.
We can talk about Fitzpatrick. I just feel like everyone talked about it. He came out and just didn't have any game. I want to finish my rant here on the media part. I felt like I just missed half the tournament. Like, I don't even care about the Bryson thing. Okay, like, I can give you my opinion. It doesn't matter.
Oh, dude,
what I
it
care
was
more
so
about,
it was so
45
entertaining.
minutes. What are we doing? 45 minutes of just back and fucking forth.
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to show that, mic him up.
Right.
Like, because we're seeing all the theatrics. I
did see him lip that he wasn't going to come back tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
play.
Yeah, dude, did take his ball
fucking
home.
Who?
Like, yeah, take his ball and go home. I will say,
see
I don't
on
know.
YouTube,
you ever,
Bryce?
Like, I just knew we were in store for something crazy. Like, as soon as they were finishing on 18 with a different group, and they kept going to Bryson, like, oh, it's something weird's going on with Bryson. Like, he just came out of the scoring tent. He looks frustrated. He's got a wedge with him. And I'm like, oh boy, buckle up, get your popcorn ready. I'm like, there's something that's going on, right? From like a rules violation standpoint. I can't wait to see what it is. And I mean, it took the internet by storm, man. Like, everyone was tuned in 40 minutes after the golf ended, just watching Bryson and like the head of the RNA rules official just like go back and forth. And like, Bryson was being, you know, as Rory said, very performative, and he was being animated, but like, yeah, it was a lot. I was interested to see, like, it was way too much. I was interested in, like, it's funny how, you know, in golf, I feel like you never really get anyone's like true unfiltered opinion, and Bryson, for whatever reason, seems to bring that out in people, where like he's just so polarizing that like Rory couldn't help himself.
Not
and
particularly fond of him.
Yeah, which like for a golfer to say that is like the equivalent of you and I saying I hate that fucking douchebag, right? Like, that's the equivalent of what he said. Like, golfers never really talk shit on another golfer except Rory. And like, I mean, dude, Rory is starting to be hated by the masses, right? Like, he is like, to call, like, for Rory to call someone
everything
else
he called out on Bryson is himself.
Is him.
Yeah,
is
like,
him.
Yeah, he's. I guess my thing in there is, here's the problem. This shit is so obvious. It was too obvious, and I know that not everyone's a nut golfer and like played competitive and all this other stuff. But if you did, this was, and like the guys at Fried Egg, kudos to them for always nailing this. Andy Johnson called it out in 8 seconds. what he did, whether or not they decide to penalize him or not is a different topic. It's a known fact. You're given the rules you know when you walk in to avoid. The whole point, all you have to do to avoid this situation, I don't even give a shit if you cheated. Frankly, if I were in your position, I'd do the same thing. I would cheat and try to give myself some room. And fuck you. If you caught me, you call it. You get the strokes. And if not, I get away with it. And I get a better shot and I win the tournament. So, like, I don't even care. You walk in, you avoid the entire area until it's time to tee off. You want to step around and get shots and crush shit, you do it clearly away from your ball. That's a little kid's IJGA local 13-year-old kid tournament. If you're in the shit off the beaten path, you do all your stuff around, then you step in and you hit. He didn't do that. He walked around. He fucking stood in front of it and behind it.
Yeah,
if the penalty, if intention notwithstanding, if they want to walk in and go, here's the thing. If you wanted to avoid a penalty, stay out of the shit. You didn't, so we're assessing a penalty. End of story. You can argue, we can cover it, whatever. The other part of this that I thought was also ridiculous was, and this was said like 3 times by the commentators, the official scoring shows 2 strokes off on Bryson's score. They've already pulled it back. But our scoring shows it at 7 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
your
it was
scoring
7.
doesn't
Yeah,
fucking matter.
7-5.
You can change it anytime you want.
Yeah.
The official scoring already did it. The decision's in. They're just arbitrating and talking. You just manufactured this whole thing. That thing was like 45 minutes. The decision was 5 minutes. The guys came out. They walked. They looked. They watched the replay. They took 2 strokes off right on the spot. And they said, that's the deal.
You're right.
He bitched and moaned for 40 minutes and you covered it. And that to me was the part where it's like, all right, enough of this shit.
Fair.
And it just, that to me certainly didn't ruin the tournament. I'll take more golf, but it annoyed me.
It annoyed me too because it was obvious. And then I agree with everything you said. Like, I think he left himself open for that, right? Like, whether or not you want to argue that other players do that, whatever, like, listen, when you're one of the top, like, 5 personalities on tour, guess what? All your shots are going to get filmed. That's just what it is. So, like, for you to come out and be like, oh, well, I'm being judged differently. It's like, well, no shit you are. But, like, your bank account says you should be judged differently, right? So, like, you want to give back that money that made, like you're a top 5 guy, right? Scottie, you, Rory, you guys are going to be followed and scrutinized in a different way than everyone else. That's just what it is, right? So, like, there was damning video evidence, right, where he was sloppy around there, and I don't really care about the.
I saw his knee come up. He was
right like, when he got in there, that was a penalty. He stomped around
obvious.
And then right before he hit it, he backed up and he stepped even further, right? Like, it is what it is.
Across the ball,
dude. Like, if Ryan Fox would have done that, going back to him, there would have been no arguing. He would have never even left the scoring 10. He would have been like, let me see the video evidence. You know what? You're right. 2-stroke penalty. Let me sign my
I want to go back out and show you.
Well, so what was very annoying about that was, one, it allowed the R&A allowed the tournament to get held hostage by Bryson, right? Yes. Where, you know what, dude, if you really want to, like, at that point in time with the 2-stroke penalty, he was 3 strokes back of the leader, right? And the leader was Lucas Herbert, who you knew was going to come back. So really, in all reality, you were 1 stroke out, right? Because Lucas Herbert wasn't a threat. You have 36 holes of golf. Like, you're really going to threaten that you're not going to play? Like, it was just dumb. It was just not genuine. It was never going to happen. And it just made it was just the Bryson show, right? It just made it all about him. And then he goes to the range and he's beating golf balls into the fucking British night and offering snacks to, our boy KVV from Fried Egg and those guys. It's just like, dude, like, you suck, man. Go hire your PR guy again, because if you are left to be Bryson on your own with no one telling you and curating your personality, no one's gonna like you. We're fully back into.
We're all the way back, like, to this.
All the way back to just him being as unlikable as possible.
That dude,
and throw Rory in there.
I was just gonna say that golf. I've reluctantly called myself a golfer my entire life. It is only this podcast and friendship with you that I now embrace being a golfer. Golf is a sport that is filled with pricks. I have never
1,000%.
seen more dickheads per fucking 100 than at a golf course. And, like, those 2 guys would be the worst hangs. They are the elite of Jesus Christ, please don't be in my foursome. And that's saying
Yeah.
two of the best golfers in the history of the world. And just, they're so unlikable. To put a bow on the whole thing, it's just, if you saw the lie he had, if he doesn't step in front of it, he's going to make a bogey no matter what. There's no way out of there. He's got to punch out and go to the side. So it's really only a 1-stroke penalty, which made me even more pissed, because he's doing all this for a 2-stroke penalty when he never would have even been able to hit the fucking shot. Okay, so like,
yeah.
It
was just like, listen, he could have taken, because he actually bogeyed that hole, even like,
I know,
so that
he would have had a triple just like he did on Sunday.
1,000%. You're right. I don't know. He should have just taken his medicine, played it like hindsight's 2020. Take that as an unplayable and move the fuck on.
Right.
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 And do your double bogey, and that's it. Right. But instead he made the tournament about him, and he wasn't good enough on the weekend. Right. Like thank God he made a cut.
And then he fell off.
I mean, Sunday was pretty disastrous for him, right?
Yeah.
Like the
triple
11, the triple on 11 was about as bad as it gets. But listen, I don't like Bryson, but he moves the needle. I always like him involved in a major. I don't want to see him win another major, but I like him being involved. It makes the sport more interesting. It makes the product more interesting. It's good stuff. The other thing, and I don't know, I'm sure it's come out, but like, the Bryson defenders or the bots that he pays on X, the everything app.
Scottie defended him
on X.
Scottie defended him.
But like what I was going to say though is that like the Bryson defenders are like, oh well, poor Bryson, he got this penalty and it wasn't deserved, and then they were correlating it to like the drop that Scheffler got on 17. And I'm like, listen, that's the rules of golf. You don't need to agree with them, but like, I think the TIO rules are insane, right? Like,
I mean, didn't Smalley have a putt on the green after he put it in the water? Or who was that? No, who was the dude? Who was the guy that? No, yeah, this is when Goddard won. What? Not Smalley. Who's the other dude? That just
when Goddard won at John Deere.
Yeah, Ben Cohn,
yeah. Ben, yeah.
Then he put it in the water, and then he ended up getting to putt. Yeah, Coles. Then he gets to putt off the green. Remember? He got to move
but
the
at
ball
least that was a penalty, right? Like the Scottie
No, he had
thing,
a penalty, but like these rules, sometimes the penalty works
absurd.
in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. The whole point of this is
I just think it's you got to follow them. The TIO rules, right? To quote Tron Carter, right? Tron Carter hates all of that stuff, right? But it is true. Like if you and I were playing Royal Birkdale, and obviously there's no infrastructure in place, that second shot that Scottie hits, you and I are making a 10.
Yeah.
Because he hit it a mile left, and someone saw it go in a bush, but because it's in that area that's ruled TIO, it's a drop like in a place where he got up and down for birdie. And it's like, dude, like he hit 2 bad shots, right? He hit a bad, like the drive that he thought was perfect, but it was slicing. At the end of the day, that was a bad drive. It put himself in a terrible position, and then he tried to play hero ball because he needed to, because he was 7 under, and he knew he needed to make at least a birdie, but he was going for broke, going for eagle. He hits the ball fucking a mile left and still birdies that hole. I'm like, dude, that should have been a fucking 6. Bare minimum, a 6 on that. But yeah, dude, we talked about it last week. I was not surprised that Scottie didn't win, right? We pegged that. We're like, it's just, there's something that's missing. And this week, what was very clearly missing is the proximity got better. His putting was atrocious.
Mm-hmm. He's just a little behind. Like he's enough that he is a top 5 lock and he could win anything, and he gave it a run on Sunday, but he's just a little behind. He is susceptible to a random ass guy coming in and winning. And that's something that you never would have thought.
And now he's let that happen at every major this year, right? Like,
I mean, it's every tournament this year, frankly. It's not just every major. It's been almost every tournament except for the one that he won. And I would say, if you were to look historically, with the exception of Tiger, and maybe when he had like Brooks and Rory and Spieth kind of all in their like young guns run, where like there's like 3 or 4 guys who all are coming at it hard. most of the time, anyone could win on any given week. It's like if the guy who's the best plays the best, game over. If the guy who's the best doesn't quite play the best every day, then kind of anyone can take it. And you've seen it repeatedly that if you're going to leave a couple strokes, then this can happen. And Cam Young is the example of that. Like for his run, he stepped up and took each of them. Wyndham Clark did the same thing. He stepped up and took what was his. We had the period of Matt Fitzpatrick where he was stepping up and taking what's his. He was playing the best on all cylinders. And you got to be basically tee to green, Thursday to Sunday. Basically, you need to be on generally within the pace, or you are susceptible to someone else coming in and sneaking it. And that's happened to Scottie all season long. He had bad Thursdays for a while, then it was bad approaches for a while, then it was missing putts for, it's just, he hasn't had everything firing. And with that, the competition now is good enough that that's just not gonna get it done.
But honestly, I would take 2026 way over 2024 or 2025, right? When he's just winning. Like last year was, I think Rory and Scottie won 50% of like the major events, right? Like, I mean, they had 3 of the 4 majors between them, and then Scottie was winning every fucking signature event. It just, I don't know. I love greatness, but like for what you and I love to do, which is to make money on golf, like Scottie didn't really allow us to do that last 2 years, right? So like now we're in a spot where it's like, hey, he most likely is not going to win a golf tournament, and you can find a guy that's got a ton of value. And your and I's goal now is, how do we find a Ryan Fox who you sent me that tweet yesterday that someone in round 1 bet him live at 2,000 to 1. Like, how do you even find that? Like, how was he even on like anyone's radar at that point? Like, that is so impressive to me. And even going into the weekend, you could have gotten him at 500 to 1. Like, it just, that's the shit you and I live for, right? Like when that value exists and that value actually turns into someone winning. Like, that's out there. It's going to continue to be out there, and we're going to do our best to identify those prospects.
Yeah, that's the goal of the show and the goal of all of my dreams of making money just doing this. I probably lose my kids' golf gear sponsorship next when I say I enjoy watching Scottie, and the last couple of years is great, and you see a guy who's so consistently good. But if I'm going to have a runaway winner, I want Tiger. I want a guy who's going to step on your throat and leave with your fucking girl. That I can watch, Michael Jordan style. Scottie, I love his game, but he's just not the personality type that makes it fun when you win everything. It's like, ho-hum, who's taking second this week? It's just different.
I do agree with that. I do like that we've seen him be a little bit more fiery this year, definitely. And like a little bit more.
But he doesn't win, so that's the problem.
Opinionated, right? Yeah, but like I like that we're seeing. Yeah, but the counter to that, Scott, is that if he was winning, we wouldn't be seeing this personality, right? So like,
maybe he picked it up when he was in jail for that 4 hours. he got like a fucking prison tat on his rib cage, and now he's just BA.
You just never know what reaction you're like, because he was just so stoic for so long, and now all of a sudden, right? Like he had the incident with Ted Scott a month or 2 ago where he blamed him for his fucking putting a ball in the water on a par 3, and then he lost his mind on 17 about the drive, and
that was funny.
He sounded like you and I. It's like, what? Why is my ball going there? Like,
right? But it's like that just is not like the old like. And again, this is like Tom Brady shit. It's why sometimes he got tired with the Patriots. Now Tom Brady's acting like a fucking idiot. That's a whole different podcast.
He's one of the strangest. But
when he was winning, he was so quiet, and it was just whatever. To where like, if you forget about the Boston thing, it just got like boring. And I still love the greatness, and I can appreciate that. But when I see guys who are just dominant and flashy, at least if you're gonna take all the suspense away from the game, you're gonna replace it with entertainment. I'm gonna kick your ass and I'm gonna rub your fucking face in it. That I can get on board with. Or you become the villain, and I'm engaged the same way. So that was the one thing Scottie didn't do. We talked about that when you came as a guest on the previous podcast. We talked about how it was just not as entertaining. I love seeing all these dudes And we may never see Ryan Fox in a position like this ever again. Or maybe, he'll become the new Blocky and he gets rid of that fucking guy. Either way, I'm good with it.
I would welcome Ryan Fox contending in more tournaments, man. Like
I want to see that
like that.
dragging
I like that,
left
dude.
foot for the next couple of years. That swing is just incredible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we covered this Open, but I want to get to your golf tournament, your Open Championship this weekend, the 312 Invitational. Why don't you run it down for us?
Yeah, a shout out to Noel Duckworth for putting this on. It was the first one of the year. A little inspiration from kind of the Internet Open and all of these sort of different online golf creator golf events you're seeing make it an IRL. This was all of Chicago's kind of golf creators, and we launched this podcast and was kind enough to invite me to come play in this thing. It was a ton of fun. We had sponsors that did all kinds of stuff. There's one of the guys, a couple of these guys, Rad Golf, who I guess your boy Dave plays in it every year. Arlington Heights guys. So they sponsored one of the holes. We had to play the hole like a minute or less. That was just a lot of fun because like you're not used to walking up, hitting the ball and having someone else ready to go and hit an approach and then someone else ready to putt it. So that was kind of cool. Caddy Wrap came. This to me was the highlight of the event. Like it was a scramble setup, 8 holes plus the 9th hole, which is Rad Golf, and you had to run the hole. So we shot 5 under in 8 holes. We lost by 1. It was pretty good. We lost by 1. I was a very nice and gave the bread to the guy and the kudos and said, great job playing. Then I watched the clips because these are all creators, right? So everything was filmed. Like there's just videos galore. If you followed me on Instagram, it was probably made you want to throw up. It was just shot after shot after shot after shot. But I saw some of the guys' swings that I hadn't seen, the team that won, and immediately was kind of like, wait, what the fuck? I'm not saying that they didn't shoot -6 because I saw them make an eagle putt. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
You're just wondering how they got to -6.
I'm wondering because like we missed. Yeah, we missed a couple of putts that we missed an eagle putt from about 20. We missed a birdie putt from like 8 or 9 feet. There was 2 guys. Like everyone on our team contributed. The one dude, Jin, who's awesome, great dude, filmed everything. Himself admitted like working on his game, trying to become a good golfer. Like he's a big fan of golf, covering it. Now he's trying to become good at golf. So he's not expecting to go out and shoot the lights out. He didn't contribute, as he would tell you this, didn't contribute the entire round. Last hole, rolls in a 35-foot birdie when we all had missed. So like he contributes there and all is good. The rest of us, we just literally, I don't know, we couldn't make, the story of my life, we couldn't make putts, but I look at like me and Hamill and a couple of the guys, and I feel like our game and our skills and our swings are too good. And then I watch the dudes who beat us by 1, and I'm looking at their swings, and I'm like, this shit's everywhere. Like, I don't know. Maybe we just didn't make enough putts.
So are they gonna are they gonna actually like release something on YouTube like with like
there'll be reels galore. They've filmed all this. There was drones out there. I shared little bits and pieces from the day. There'll be a big reel that I'll be sharing in a little bit from the whole round. They took footage of everything. It was really cool. I mean, this is like how creators would play golf. I guess it would either drive you fucking nuts or you think it's cool. I thought it was cool. Every single foursome had a caddy, basically, who was just in their cart shooting film. And everyone is a creator anyway. So like, they were all like, there was this one dude, Jin, playing with us, had a tripod. He set up on took him 2 seconds. He whipped it out, boom. And all of us are hitting. One dude walks up behind me on a par 3 and drops a drone in front of me. And it's just flying, buzzing around me within like a 5-foot circle while I hit. Somehow I managed to flush the thing. I thought I'd scull it or hit the drone out of the air or something. I got some laughs from, these are all professional creators. I am a creator in the sense that I've, podcast, newsletter, sold these things. We have this show, but I'm not very professional about anything in my life. So these dudes all have all this gear, right? And I'm on the driving range hitting balls, and they walk up and like, oh man, do you want me to take some shots of you or whatever? And I was like, I'm shooting now. And they're like, where? And they look down, and there's a freshly drank 16-ounce, formerly 16-ounce Ultra, now empty, with 2 golf balls from the range in the bottom of it, and my phone resting on top of them to balance. And it's taken the shots of me hitting straight into it, to the side, behind me. The whole thing, all it was is I took a 16-ounce Ultra Cup and threw some balls in it for weight and threw my phone in and just hit record.
Love that ingenuity right there.
And I'm not going to lie to you, my videos are better. They got drones and shit. The drone one's the cool one. All the other ones with the tripods, it just looks like too production. The cup, like you can smell the Michelob Ultra on my videos, I'll tell you that. So everyone saw it. They laughed. People were talking about it. Like literally, I heard it from like 5 different people. Like, are you the guy who was on the range hitting balls out of an Ultra can? I was like, I am.
Yes, sir. That's me.
Yes, sir. Overall, it was really fun. The sponsors were great. The highlight, though, was Caddy Wrap was the sponsor for the night hole. So at the end of the round, we all had drinks and stuff. We go out on the 10th hole. You know this course very well, Mount Prospect Golf Club. We go out on, I believe it's 10, right? That's the par 3. And it's playing so it's playing like 125, 122, whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a short hole.
A little uphill, but it's also like now 10 o'clock at night. So it's totally dark. We got the lights, lights set up
and
on.
I'm
DJ
assuming
playing.
there was more Michelob Ultras consumed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was rolling. And there's 40, so there's 32 people in the Invitational, I believe, that actually play. 40 people now, because everyone who ran the event got in it. So 40, 45 people are now standing on the tee box, and everyone's going to hit a shot, not at the same time, one at a time, bang, 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 bang. Everyone's going to hit a shot on the green at the same time. They call it the stampede. And everyone's got to walk all the way up, and you're just going to kind of play, chip it on, hit it on the sand, putt, 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 and report your score, and then
elimination from there.
And you're going to go do it again and again and again until a winner. So we do it. I pulled out 52, thankful to my mirrors. I can hit them in any darkness. It does not matter. I don't even need to see. That's just
So how
money.
was that? So like, how did you get, you had to pick blindly the club, or how did that work?
Yeah, so that was they altered it. Originally, you were supposed to pick a club. They had to put the caddy wrap on it, which is like it's basically like putting Christmas wrapping paper on your shaft. It kind of makes the shaft of the club look cool if you want. That's their business, which is actually kind of cool if you like to dress up your clubs. I'm not a dress up the clubs guy, but there's a lot of people out there. Originally, you gave them clubs before the round, but then they ended up saying, hey, why don't we all just pick whatever clubs you need, because people didn't know what the distance was, and there was guys out there with like driver only and putters, and they couldn't wrap some of the putters. So it ended up just being pick a club, and then you can bring your putter. And so we ended up doing that. I went with the 52 degree. For me, 124, 125 is like the dialed number. I put the first one 12 feet. Or no, first one was like 20 feet, 2 putt, report a par. Mind you, while I'm putting, there's fucking 30 balls coming across.
Chaos.
So it was not easy, but it worked out. It was fun. Everyone goes back, reset. He cuts it. Now it's like 30 people. This one I put to like 18 feet, 2 putt, par, keep going. Third round, now there's, 20 people. There's a video I posted on Instagram that I stuck that shit 5 feet. It's pitch black. It's 11:15 at night. 5 feet, rolling the putt, birdie. Now it's down to 5 people. We go back, fourth round, tee off again. I hit that one like 12 feet. Just, I it was the nicest. It was actually the nicest one. It was nicer than the 5-footer, because the 5 kind of bounced up. This was like, bam, like a fucking dart. I hit the ball, and I just didn't have enough steam on it. It goes to the front of the lip, and right at the front door, gets boop, turned away. And it hit the lip, and it just, if it had one rotation more, it goes in, and instead it just kind of swipes away. And the other dude made his putts, and I take second place.
How long did that hole last? The 10th hole take, the 4 or 5 rounds.
So 4 rounds. We started probably around 10-ish.
Okay.
11:45 roughly. I was done, and I was over at your place, the Prospect, by midnight. So it closed down. We got a drink and left.
But you guys still went out to the Prospect after all that?
Yes, there was other people who went there as they got busted out. I went there for a beer. They closed, and then the other guys actually went to another bar like down the street and like went on. I went home at that point because I felt like that was probably sufficient. But yeah, it was.
You were good. That's awesome, man.
It was a good time. That was the highlight.
Absolute blast.
Yeah. So shout out to those guys. They'll be doing it again next year. Hopefully we can have the 2 of us next year.
way to represent no strokes there. They definitely got the better golfer of us too, so I'm glad that
We tried.
you got to represent.
Second team, second individual, I'll take it. First is better,
Yeah,
second
not
sucks,
bad,
but
not
it was a lot
bad,
of fun.
not bad.
So, well,
No wonder
we
you
are
like Cam Young
running.
so much.
Oh, well, I don't even have a response for that. We 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 don't have a ton of time left on the show, but I do want to step up for the 3M because I know this is a personal favorite of yours. What do we have going for us? It's in the Twin Cities, right? Did I read that right?
Yeah, it's in the Twin Cities, right? So TPC Twin Cities, kind of standard TPC layout, right? So you're gonna have a good mix of birdie opportunities because they've got some short par fours, they've got three reachable par fives, which I always love, and then they've got the stadium style par threes. But then they throw in a bunch of water hazards, right? So I read kind of their approach, which is their tournament founder said we want birdies and we want train wrecks and we don't want to be the hardest golf course on the tour, which I just it's a good segue from, like, the major season ending, right? Like, it's not too serious of a tournament. I'm still kinda shocked that Scottie Scheffler is in the field, like, I think everyone is, like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that he committed to this, but he is there, and then there is a pretty steep drop off from Scottie to, like, I think the next betting favorite might be Kurt Kitayama at like 20 to 1. So you've got Scottie that's probably going off. I'll check it right now. He's probably going off at his standard 2 to 3 to 1 at these non-signature. Yeah, he's
86% chance to win.
yeah, dude, he's plus 265, and then Kitayama and Mav McNeely, Hideki, and Tom Kim round out the favorites there. I don't know. This to me, it's kind of like John Deere a little bit, where it tends to be a little bit of a shootout. Like the tournament founder said, you get some train wrecks because of the strategically placed hazards that they've got there. It's nice going back to a course it's a par 71 instead of a par 70 that we just saw. And we've kind of just got a whole host of like random winners that um have won there, right? Like Cameron Champ, you remember that guy, the guy that hits it a
Yeah.
mile? He won here a couple of years ago. Kitayama won last year. We had this shootout back in 2019 with Matthew Wolf. God, I missed that guy too. That guy's absurd swing. Live another guy that Live ruined. Him and Bryson. There was a shootout in 2019, and like the good thing that you're getting here is that yes, the top of the field is not great, but you're getting a lot of guys that you probably normally wouldn't get because the FedEx playoffs have now shrunk to top 70 instead of top 125. So you have a lot of guys that are either on the outside looking in or on the inside, but they're barely on the inside. So this is a huge tournament for FedEx playoff standings. So I think you're just going to get some good drama. Key stats here, right? Like none of these are different than what we usually talk about, but shots gained off the tee, shots gained approach, ball striking. You're going to be looking for guys that are birdies or better gained, and obviously with the bogey avoidance with all of the hazards. But we have seen guys that we've seen long shots win here before, which is what I'm excited about. A guy you and I talked about last week that I really like here. Because he's a top 10 player in total driving, is Johnny Keefer. I'm gonna play him. I like Michael Brennan. That's a guy that's been kind of like hanging around. Has played really well at some tournaments, has won once before. And then a guy I like that I don't know if I even want to recommend to our listeners, but I can't quit this guy, Cam Davis, the big Aussie, who seemingly forgot how to play golf maybe over the last like 12 months.
Good
Um,
pick.
no, but I'm tracking him because he played well at the Scottish Open, and he is a guy that he's won at. He hasn't won the 3M, but he's been in the top 10 here multiple times, and he's won the Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit, which I kind of this seems like a very similar tournament to me, right? Good drivers of the golf ball. Putting is kind of equalized here because they're just not hard greens to really read. So I like a guy that's won on the tour a couple of times. That's got at one point an immense amount of talent. Like he made the President's Cup before. Like he's going off at 525 to 1. So like, you know, like I got a little inspired by the Ryan Fox 2000 to 1 hit, and I started looking way down the odds board, and you know, my old favorite Cam Davis was there. So sprinkle a little bit of beer money on him. And then I would also look at Mac Meissner, who I played at the John Deere. I think he finished second or third, had an unbelievable Sunday there. That guy's knocking on the door. So I want to be on him when he wins.
I love it. This is, I mean, what I like about this tournament and others like it is you get to meet golfers that you probably don't pay attention to because the cameras don't show them. You're watching normal tournaments; they just don't ever show these guys. Keefer's, I mean, that's how I found Keefer. Is I was watching a couple random shots. He got himself in some weirdo position a few tournaments ago, blasted the piss out of the ball, made a bunch of jokes about it. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And instantaneously liked him. He ended up being my make the cut pick in the British as well. And he did.
And he did it. I like him. I circled him for 3M. I think we talked 2 weeks ago. So I like that guy. Uber amount of talent. Let's just hope that it just doesn't turn into a Scottie production, right? Where it's just showing every one of his. I mean, I know, but it's just like it's either, you know, let him be running away with the tournament so that I can just tune it out, or let him not be in contention so that we can actually, you know, have a weekend where you're actually following the guys that are in contention, and hopefully it's one or two of the guys that I just gave out here.
Mac would be one who I would be rooting for. I think I love watching
Like
his game. Yeah,
he's really good. I mean, like,
yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah, Matt, like between Mac, like, cause Cam Davis, listen, you know, put $10 on it. If it hits, you're gonna go home $5,000 richer. But there's a reason that he's 525 to 1. Like Keefer, Mac, and Brennan all have a legitimate shot at contending, and I'd be surprised if one of them, at least one of them, wasn't in contention come Sunday, if not multiple.
I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be as much as Scottie's the favorite, and maybe, you know, I don't have a PJ, so maybe I don't know the difference, but I got to imagine going to the Twin Cities from Europe is not an easy adjustment. So if you did not play in the British and you're generally a good golfer, I'm going to give you a couple extra points this week. That's how I'm looking at it.
I would agree. I think it's a tough turn, and like that's part of why I like these, like the Scottie thing. Yeah, could he come and win? I can't imagine that he's going to be like really uber focused on this. I can't see it, right? After being in contention at the Open, having to come back from England, you know, England to the Twin Cities, it's quite the dichotomy, right? That's quite the change. So it'll be.
You've seen all sorts of people if you've done that trip. So I love it. I'm looking forward to it. You and I will be texting and gambling just as always, and having a good time with this. Like I said, the biggest highlight to me is if you have been listening to the show and you really are starting to get into golf and watching all these tournaments, there are so many fucking good players that we just never heard of. And the reason that you and I could be like, who's Ryan Fox? Like, actually, Jen asked me, we were in bed, and she's like, who is our Fox? I was like, oh, Ryan Fox. How did I know Ryan Fox? Because he's been around. He had a couple top 14, top 15. I remember watching him.
Yeah, and I mean, like, dude, at this point, I just thought about this as you said this. Sam Burns has got to fucking hate Ryan Fox, because Ryan Fox is who beat him in the Canadian Open playoff last year. Remember, I think they played like 3 or 4 different. They kept playing 18, right? Because they kept having to move the hole.
Yes.
Yeah. So Fox got him there, and Fox got him at the Open. Poor Sam Burns, man.
You don't want to mess with the Fox, man. What does the Fox say? You know the song. What does the Fox say?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, buddy. We will catch up soon enough. Thank you so much for taking time with us.
Always, man. See ya. Bye.
Adios.